Thank you to Annie NG for requesting this episode. Welcome to Conlang, Critic, the show that gets facts wrong about your favorite Conlang. I'm Jan Niesely, and in this episode we'll be looking at the hypothetical representation of a language, Ithkuil. Immediately after an episode about a language that was needlessly complicated, we now arrive at a language that's all about needless complexity. Ithkuil is an artlang created by John Quijada in 2004, and then rebooted in 2007, and then rebooted again in 2011. We'll be focusing entirely on the 2011 version in this episode. Ithkuil's consonants are ma, na, b, d, g, p, t, k, p, t, k, p, t, j, ts, ch, ts, ch, v, z, j, f, th, s, h, sh, h, w, l, y, ch, w, r. I apologize for mispronouncing, all of those. Nonetheless, look at all those consonants, and this isn't even including gemination, except where the geminated consonant makes a completely different sound. Oh, gemination is when you say a consonant for a longer amount of time, by the way. This isn't in modern English, but it is in Arabic, Finnish, Japanese, Italian, and several other languages. Ithkuil's vowels are I, U, U, I, E, A, O, E, O, ah, ah. It also happens to be a tonal language. Its tonemes are ah, 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 and ah. The tones apply to an entire word rather than just one vowel. It's also a stressed language, and stressed vowels are written with an acute, and unstressed vowels are written with a grave, unless it's clear what the stress should be from context. This phonology is the biggest we've seen so far, and I doubt we'll ever see one bigger. This would be the worst possible phonology if Ithkuil were an international language, but fortunately it is not. Ithkuil isn't about communicating easily, it's about communicating densely, packing as much information as possible into as little space as possible. And if that's the goal, then using every single sound you know how to make makes perfect sense. And that's exactly what Quijada did. Now, as for the way these sounds are written, there's a little left to be desired. Once again, my problem here is with the digraphs. Now, don't get me wrong, there isn't anything inherently wrong about using digraphs in your Conlang's orthography, but using them here seems to go against Ithkuil's general philosophy. I mean, Ithkuil is all about condensing information, right? So why would you have some sounds represented with more than one symbol? All that does is make words take up more space, which is the opposite of what Ithkuil wants to do. Of course, there are the concerns of practicality, but my keyboard doesn't have any easy way to write a whole lot of the symbols Ithkuil uses already, so adding another dozen or so wouldn't be that much worse. Ithkuil also has its own writing system that I can't even begin to understand. It's kinda like an abugida, but also kinda like a logography. It looks kinda cool, but you can't type with it, so who cares? Ithkuil's grammar and vocabulary are deeply linked to one another. Ithkuil's word derivation process alone is a masterpiece of design. Words are only required to be marked for case, but you have the option of marking for much, much more. For example, and this is directly from the reference grammar, the word is an adverb, meaning, and I quote, being hard to believe after allegedly trying to go back to repeatedly inspiring fear using ragtag groups of suspicious-looking clowns despite resistance. Also, shout out to John Quijada for actually demonstrating how to pronounce that, because there's no way I would have said it correctly. Okay, I'm gonna spend pretty much the rest of this video explaining exactly how this one word works, and hopefully you'll get an idea of what Ithkuil is like. The slash at the beginning means that the word has rising tone, and also means that the action is unsuccessful. The aspirated uvular stop means two things. First, that the information contained here is subjective, and second, that the action happens repeatedly. The vowel oo means the action happens despite some resistance. L-ly means the action has happened before. AI' means the action is a physical event, and it also means something else we'll get to in a bit. SVU is one of the two root words. The SV part means fear, but the letter U after it makes its meaning more specific. See, every root in Ithkuil can have up to 18 associated meanings, organized by formality, pattern, and stem. The letter U here means that the root that comes before it has its informal pattern 3 stem 1 meaning, which here is the experience of being afraid of something. KS Karen is the other root, meaning fool. Unlike the root fear, though, the formality, pattern, and stem aren't indicated by the following vowel, since KS Karen is the main root of the word. That brings us to the other meaning of AI' from earlier. In addition to indicating a physical event, it also means that the main root has its pattern 1 stem 2 meaning, and the fact that the stress is on the last syllable means that the main root is formal. And the formal pattern 1 stem 2 meaning of KS Karen is clown. EI'(A) is the post-cursive case marker, meaning that the time we're talking about is after the action stopped. RP means 5 things simultaneously. It means that we're talking about an actual event rather than a hypothetical situation, that we're talking about a singular event in its entirety, that we're talking about something that no longer happens, that the main root comes in groups, and that said groups aren't very organized. I-circumflex means that the next set of consonants are a type 1 suffix taken to the 4th degree, which is PT, meaning veracity. What does that mean? Well, suffixes are applied to the main roots of words, and they come in 9 degrees, indicating how much they apply. So 4th degree veracity means that, on a scale of 1 to 9, where 1 is completely true and 9 is completely fake, these clowns have 4 veracity. The stressed O means that the minor root, fear, is caused by the main root, clown, and that this is simply stating what happened. Also, the fact that it's stressed means that the main root is formal, which was already said. Finally, '(KS) means that you find the whole situation hard to believe. Phew, did you get all that? I actually simplified a lot. Obviously, most words in Ithkuil don't have that much information in them, but this is a perfect example of how much information Ithkuil words can contain. That's how Ithkuil succeeds where, say, Igade fails. Igade's words were pretty precise, but they were required to be on that one constant precision level. With Ithkuil, you can either be as precise or as imprecise as the situation demands. Most importantly, however, Ithkuil has better control of its aesthetic than nearly every Conlang I've ever seen. It knows exactly what it's doing, and it is exactly what it wants to be. All in all, I'd say I like Ithkuil more than I like Ladon, making it the best Artlang reviewed so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, where I'll be reviewing Wolflandic.